Okay, I'm gonna do an application video and show you guys how I apply my solids. I just did my nail prep video and showed you how I prep my nails. And now we're gonna get to these solids. And I see one little spot that I need to clean up here on my pinky that is kind of peeling a little bit. So let me go grab my buffer block. Okay, so I'm gonna take care of that and then buff it. Get those nail beds buffed really, really, really well first. Okay, my cuticles are taken care of. They're pushed back really far to give me as much nail bed space as possible to do my nails. So go ahead and open up my alcohol wipe. This part's really not necessary if you wash your hands really well first, but if you don't have access to a sink, you're doing them in the car or whatever, then definitely make sure you do this. But I'll just do this for the sake of showing people. Okay. I've already opened this and got it ready so that it wouldn't take up time making this video. So you've got your 2 sleeves of 8 double-ended nail polish strips on each sleeve. So I'm going to start. I already know which strips fit my nail the best, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Peel off the clear layer, remove your nail polish from the backing, tap it in the middle, and remove this tab gently. Okay. Now I'm going to find the placement that works good right in the middle, butting right up to my cuticle, but not touching my skin. And if it is, which it is here, just lift it back up and start over. Once you have the placement in a good spot, smooth it down at the bottom and give it a gentle little stretch. Smooth it down, and then same on the other side. Pull your skin over and just smooth it down. And then grab it, tuck it under. If you want to use the other end of the strip, you can, but I'm not going to. Just remove it, and then that nail looks good. There's no wrinkles and no bubbles because I kind of lifted it and stretched it over that end. And that's what removes the slack and makes it lay down nicely. So I'm gonna go take the same strip from the other sleeve and do my other pinky. Remove it, stick it here, grab it in the middle, find the placement, lay it down, and then tap it. Tap it with your finger so it will stay when you lift your finger up and hold it. Now, smooth it down and watch how I kind of, let me do it right here so you can see. Give it like a stretch and lay down. This way it lays nicely and there's no bubbles and no wrinkles. Then I just smooth and then come over here. There's a little tiny bubble right there, but just press it down. Just press it down. I'm going a lot slower than I normally do, just so I can kind of explain to y'all the process. And that nail is perfect. There's no bubbles, no wrinkles, totally smooth. Now I'm gonna move on to my ring finger. Remove the clear, remove it from the back, tap it with my finger in the middle so that I have good control. Find the placement, tap it down. Let's see. Yep, that looks just right. Smooth it. Give it a lift and stretch and pat it down while I do that. And the same over here. stretch it along that side and smooth it down. Now I'm going to grab it along the edges and just use my thumbnail to perforate and remove the excess. Wow, this is a very pretty color. I have not done it yet. This is Are You Madrid-ing Me? Go over to my other. I like to do my nails back and forth. Some people like to do one hand and then go over to the other hand. We all have our ways that we like to do things, but this is just the way that I find I do it. Find that spot that works. Use my thumb to hold it down. Tap it down and get it secured to the bottom. Then give it a lift and stretch. And smooth it down. Get that little tabby off of my finger. There we go. And then grab it along the edges. Smooth it and perforate it off. Moving right along. And then I like for my middle finger to use this one right beside the two thumbs. Okay, same thing. Find this placement. Use my thumb to hold it down while I remove it off of my pointer finger. Make sure it's a good placement, and it is. Once it is, I usually turn it this direction so I can see, and then I will, as I stretch it a little bit, take my thumb over here and push it down, and then same for over here. These little tabby things always stick to me. Okay, then come over here and just smooth it down. Any little wrinkles, you can just lift and smooth, lift and smooth. If you have a wrinkle, it's best to lift it out and stretch it and smooth it rather than to try to just press it and smooth it. Always try to lift it and smooth it if you have a wrinkle. Then come back around, pull them together, and then use my fingernail to pop it off. I'm gonna clean up the underneath later, but I like to let that excess hang out around the tips of my nails and cure a little bit so that it gives my tips a little bit more protection. Okay, going back over to the other middle finger. Find that placement, tap it down, hold it with my thumb, lift it off, smooth it in a downward motion, turn it around, give it a stretch and smooth, and then smooth, smooth, smooth. Just that gentle stretch and smoothing it down is your best friend. You're gonna get rid of your bubbles and wrinkles this way. All right, you little tab, get away. Okay. Again, tucking it, perforate it with my thumb, and then smooth, press it down again. Make sure all the little edges are sticking down to your nail. Loving this color. Okay, pointer finger next. I'm gonna do this one right here. I find that my pointer fingers and my ring fingers are just about the same size, which in my head I would always think that your fingernails get bigger the closer you get to your thumb, but that is not the case with me. Lay it down, turn it around. See, I think I need to scoot this one over just a hair. There we go. Hold it down, smooth it down. And I feel like my pointer finger, for whatever reason, is like, maybe it's a little more curved. But sometimes I get wrinkles and bubbles on my pointer finger, easier than I would my other fingernails. So I have to take extra care with this one. Lift it out, stretch it and pull it, make sure there's no bubbles. There we go. Seal those little corners and then go underneath and pop it off. All right, let's do this other one and then we'll just have the thumbs left. Okay. Find my spot on the base, hold it with my thumb, lift it off my finger, smooth it down, give it a lift, and stretch. Move this thing. And it looks like I've got, like if I were to just start smoothing it down right here, you see that big old wrinkle? That would not be good. So I'm going to lift it back and then stretch it a little bit to remove that big wrinkle that was right there. Now I'm going to start smoothing it down. Giving it a stretch and lift. And then smooth it around. Over here, tuck that under right there. And then sorry, I got out of the video screen. Pop it off. And there, that's good. That nail would have been all wrinkly if I hadn't have lifted up to where the wrinkle started and stretched it back out. Okay, all that I have left are my thumbs now. So let's go ahead. And I like to use the bigger thumb because, I don't know, I just like to cover up my nails, but I can really use the smaller one, the other end, because the other end of the smaller thumb is a little bit wider than this one. So I really like that we have multiple options as far as sizes go with these nail strips. They just make it so easy for everyone to get a good custom fit. Same thing with my thumb. Lay it down, smooth it, and then stretch. When I do the alcohol wipes, that's what makes these things stick to me, I swear. Okay, smooth that, and then push my skin over with my fingernail and smooth it right to the edge over here. And then the same over here. Use my finger to push that skin away so that whenever I smooth it down, it doesn't run into my skin. And then I had a wrinkle right there, but did you see how I just lifted and stretched it out? I just lifted it slightly and stretched it out. Now, pinch together and go right under. And see, there's some on my skin right here, but I'm going to use my thumbnail to just gently move it away. And if you don't have long nails, you can't do this, you can use a wooden cuticle stick or like a nail file. You know those like metal nail files that have the pointy end? Something like that would work as well. And actually I'm gonna need one when I do my other thumb so that I don't mess up this thumb, because I don't want to start going over here and working the excess on this thumbnail with this thumb because it has not cured yet. I don't want to mess it up. So I'm gonna have to run into my office really quick and grab a rubber cuticle pusher. Okay, got my little rubber tipped cuticle pusher, and I'll show you this really cool tip that I like whenever I do my last thumb, or really any fingernail if I have too much excess on my skin. So remove that and remove this, and let's get this thing laid down. Find my spot, and there's a little bit of cuticle right there that I just about laid it on top of. me get that piece off. You're gonna mess me up. There we go. So let's find our spot right here. Lift it away, smooth it down, and then give it a lift and stretch. Get off of me. Okay. Smooth down, cover all of my nail, and then come over here and smooth this down as well. And as you'll see, it's on my skin a little bit, but I'm gonna show you what I do to get rid of that. Go ahead and pinch it together, tuck it down, and then I'll take my rubber cuticle pusher and just go underneath, push down until it kind of like pops it off. And then, as you see, it's right here along my skin. So in order to get a smooth perforation and not a jagged one, I just will take my rubber cuticle pusher and just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it will eventually perforate that spot on my skin. See how it's like pulled away from my skin? So now I can just lift and it will come right off. And now I have a perfect clean edge. Okay, and then what I do, I'm not gonna do this step just yet because I kind of like to let my nails hang out for a minute, but I will take a glass nail file in a little bit and just, well, I can just do one to show you. Go in a downward motion to remove the excess off of my nail. Glass nail files seal your tips and prevent tip wear. They don't make like those little jagged, you know how sometimes when you file your nails with a nail file, they kind of feel jagged along the edges? You're not gonna get that with a glass nail file. You're just going to get perfect, clean, non-jagged edges. And this will remove the nail polish from where you folded it over and perforated. So there you go. There is Are You Madrid-ing Me? Solid application. I hope this is helpful for you guys.